Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Zoom class today. My name is Bethany. I'm an education specialist with Singer Sewing Company, and we're excited to be here with Michael doing another sewing class with you guys. So welcome. I want to quickly take a very brief moment to introduce a few people in the background in case you see them pop into the chat. So we have Maria, who's assisting from Michael's. If you have any questions about the technical side of using Zoom, or how to access certain features within Zoom, or having problems, send her a direct message through the chat. You can message her directly about that. I also have two of my colleagues in the chat today, Amy Mulroney and Sonny Grant. So if you see any answers to your questions or any information or links dropped into the chat from Amy or Sonny, they are helping me out in the chat today. So they'll be over there chatting with you guys. But if there's a question that I need to repeat or answer in the video, they will come on, let me know, and we can take care of that. So welcome. So if you're not familiar with what we're doing today, I want to show you, we're going to be making an infinity scarf on a serger, which I have here, but we're also going to use a regular sewing machine as well to finish it off. This is the fastest infinity scarf tutorial I've ever created, and I've made so many over the holidays as gifts. They're wonderful gifts. And so we're going to make them today, and I have a couple that I've already made, so I thought I'd show them to you. The first one is this one right here. I'm going to hold it over so you guys can see. I'm not going to put it on because I'm having a good hair day at the moment, but it's a really soft cable knit. I'm actually going to be sewing with this exact same fabric, but in a different color on the live today. So you'll be seeing this fabric being sewn on today. I like this fabric because it's a lightweight, not too heavy, so it's good for when it's not super cold outside, but it still keeps you warm. But it has some really nice stretch to it. So the key thing that we're going to be talking about is how to sew with stretchy materials, and this is when the Serger really comes in handy. The other one that I'm going to show you is another purple one. Clearly, purple is one of my favorite colors. These fabrics were just from my fabric stash. I have an extensive knit fabric stash because I love to sew clothes. So these were some that I had, and this one is a purple chenille, like a knit chenille. It is so soft and so warm. So this would be one that I would definitely wear if I was going to be outside in the cold more. But again, it's super soft and very easy to sew on this serger. I actually made this one on the serger. So when I set up for today's class and I opened the door, I was like, oh, there's a lot of purple in there, and I had to clean it out real quick. So that's what we're making today. Super cozy infinity scarves. And when I say it's super easy, there's like 3 sewing steps. So we're just going to jump right in. This is the fabric I'm sewing with today, and I wanted to tell you how I've decided how much fabric to use. And this is up to you. And I think where you might have some variables is the type of fabric you're sewing. So if you're sewing something really thick and heavy or fluffy or something like that, you may want to use a little less. Or if you're sewing with something a little lighter, you may want more. It's totally up to you. What I'm sewing with today is 2 yards in length. And it was 60 inches wide. That's really wide. And so what I chose to do is take that 2 yards, fold it in half, and cut it lengthwise down that fold, so that I was getting 2 scarves out of that 2 yards of fabric. So you don't have to do a full 2 yards. You can do less than that, especially if you're making this for like a kid or something. But it's up to you. So today we're sewing 2 yards that are 30 inches wide. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do with your fabric is to fold it right sides together lengthwise. So we're going to sew all the way down that one long side. I, for sake of time, went ahead and prepped my fabric by folding it in half. Scoot back so you guys can see. I folded it in half, right sides together, and I ran clips down those raw edges, all the way down the 2 yards. Okay, and we're going to sew down that side first. One thing I want to point out, oh, go ahead.
Stephanie, I'm sorry. Can you repeat how wide was your fabric that you cut in half?
It was around 60 inches wide. So I folded it in half and cut it. My chenille piece that I had wasn't that wide, so I didn't have to do that. So it just, you may find some scrap fabric in your bin, and it's whatever width you want. My rule of thumb was I took all 2 yards of that fabric before I cut it in half, and I draped it around my neck, and I was like, well, that's heavy. That's a lot of fabric. So that's when I decided, yeah, I'm going to cut this down. So it's totally up to you on the type of fabric you're using.
So around 30 inches for something like what you're doing.
Yeah. And when I say around 60 inches, it's a stretchy knit. So it was a little hard to measure. And I don't remember when I ordered this like last year, how wide it said it was on the roll. They stretch. But yeah, I think we've got about at least 15 inches or so here. So it's folded in half, right sides together. Now, I have this selvage edge here, and mine blends in with the fabric. It's kind of all together, just common with knits, but if yours really stands out, I would take the time to cut that selvage off before you fold it in half to make sure that it doesn't end up in your scarf. This one, it's a knitted kind of cable knit, so it blends in, and my serger's just going to cut it off for me, and you won't even know the difference. So it's totally up to you on that part. But we're going to go straight over to the serger and talk about how I've set up my serger to sew this type of fabric. So let's go over here. Now I am using the Singer Pro Finish serger today. I believe Amy is going to link the two machines we're using today. This is the 14CG754, which I know is a mouthful and hard to remember. So she linked it for you. And then we're also going to use a heavy duty 4411 today to finish up the seam on our scarf. But to construct it together, we're going to use a serger. I love using a serger when it comes to stretching knits because it feeds and just makes the construction so nice. Plus it also really finishes off the seam so the knits don't fray apart. So what we're going to set up our machine for today is a 4-thread overlock stitch. I'm going to move this camera up just a little bit so you guys can see that I have all 4 spools here. They're all fed into these tension discs. And goes back down. And you can see that my loopers are already threaded here as well. I'm not going to go through how to thread this machine because each serger can be a little different, but our sergers have wonderful diagrams, and we do have videos over on Singer YouTube about each one and how to put them. So if you have questions about your specific model, that's a good resource to look at. But we've got it started for 4-thread overlock. This is a very common and most used stitch when it comes to sergers, especially when constructing things. So that's what I'm using. I did thread it with white thread. You could choose a matching thread, but the construction of this is going to be on the inside of the scarf at the end anyway. So it is totally fine. Now, one thing I want to point out is on this side, we have a couple of dials here. We have our stitch length, which I have mine set to 3 for this. And then we have a differential feed, which I have mine set to 1. Some machines say N, but that's where we've got it set for this. And I've already got my foot down, as you can see. I pretty much leave my serger foot down most of the time. The only time that I ever lift it is if I need to rethread and stuff. But when it's down and I slide my fabric in, I can just do this little lift and it slides it right in. So let me go ahead and do that and we'll get started. Okay, so I am going to have my fabric come off the left of my machine, and I am going to lift the foot here and slide it in. Their blade is right here, and the blade is going to trim off this selvage area that you see here. I am giving myself about, I can probably measure this for you guys real quick. Hold on. Here's my little ruler. I'll just use my little tape measure. I'm probably going to be cutting off about ½ an inch just because I still have the selvage on here. And part of the reason I wanted to do that is so you can see it cutting. So I'm going to turn this. I'm going to be sewing this at a weird angle. So bear with me on this. I just want you guys to be able to see as best as possible. All right. So I've got my fabric pushed up in there, up under the blade here. And I'm going to, and you'll see that I've got a little tail already started. And I'm going to stop and take my clip off. And you'll see that it's starting to cut off over here. And I'm sorry if it shakes, it's just part of having a serger. It does shake the table. So I'll try to go a little slow, but I want to be able to sew through. I want to stop and let you guys see what we're looking at. See how it's sewn this and wrapped this in really nicely? I'm going to do a quick zoom in for you guys. See how nice that stitching looks? That's what we want to see. Okay. Nice to finish the seam all the way down. Now, depending on the type of fabric you're sewing, you may need to make adjustments to tension, stitch length, differential feet, totally up to you. I actually love making these scarves, even in the warmer months with like a very light fabric. Or like one of those nice spring scarves. I still have all of this collecting over here. I am giving it a slight pull here, and that's just to keep my fabric taut, and but I'm not pulling against the stitches. I'm letting it feed in, but it's keeping my fabric together. Now, when I sew with my serger and I'm making clothes, I fly through it. But you have to work up to that and get comfortable with the serger. I highly recommend taking some scrap fabric, sitting down at your serger, and playing with the same stitch with different types of fabric to see how the different settings affect the different types of fabric. Now, Amy's going to drop in the chat a video that we did last year around this time, or maybe it was fall of last year that we did a video with Michaels. We did a class on like Serger 101, kind of the basics, how to set up the machine, different stitches that you could do on the machine, including the 4-thread overlock stitch that we're using today. And so that video is going to be a great reference point if you want to click on that link and save it to watch after class. It's a great class that we did on just overview of the machine, so you can be more familiar with it. We're almost to the end. We're sewing 2 yards of fabric together, so. Trying to go slow so it doesn't jiggle the table too much. Hard for me. I like to go fast. That's also how I like to drive. So pedal to the metal. All right, we're gonna sew right off that edge. Have a little tail. There we go. All right, let me zoom back out for you guys. Now you can see I've got my little scraps here. All of this can go right in the trash. I've got all of my clips. Look at those. We're going to need more of those in just a minute anyways. And then I want you to see my finished serged edge. So nice. Consistent all the way down, all the way across. I love how it looks. Now I'm going to switch cameras real quick so you can see better. This back. So we have this long tube that we basically just sewed together all the way down this side. What we're going to do is we're going to reach in to that tube all the way to the other end. So I've got my arm through it, and I'm going to grab this in. I like to grab it at the seam. so that it doesn't get twisted. And I'm going to pull that seam, I'm going to grab that end, and I'm going to pull it back up to the other end. And we're going to line up the two raw ends. Basically turning our tube inside out halfway. So now it's only half as long. You want to make sure it's not twisted in here. So this end is folded over. And then we brought the raw edge up to the other raw edge and they're meeting even.
And Bethany, can I ask you another question?
Sure.
I just want to make sure. So you have the right sides of your fabric inside together, right?
Yes. So we sewed it right sides together. So when we had that really long tube, after we sewed it, the outside was the wrong side. And we're just bringing the other end to meet one raw edge to meet the other one through the inside, so that they're still right sides together and the wrong side is still on the outside. And what we're going to do is create a tube. So we're going to take these two raw edges, okay? And we're going to clip all the way around that, and we're going to sew around this circle. And that's going to close up our infinity scarf, but we're not going to sew all the way around it. We are going to leave an opening, and that opening is how we're going to turn it right side out. And then we'll finish it on the other machine. So this is the second part to make this on the serger. So what I like to do first is line up my two seam edges from both sides. And you have these long tails. I sometimes will just tie the two tails together so that my seams don't get off from each other. I'm going to do real quick. So what I'm saying is I'm going to take my two tails from my two ends. I'm just going to tie them in a knot together. Just going to keep my two seams in alignment as I sew around my. Then you can trim your tails. All right. So now that I've got those two in alignment, I'm just going to start clipping these two raw edges together, right sides together, just like we did before. And I like clips, especially with knit fabrics. I find that they hold really well on knit fabrics. If you want to pin it, you can absolutely pin it. All the way around. You can do as many clips as you want to feel more comfortable when sewing this knit fabric because it is stretchy. Okay. So remember how I said that we are going to sew all the way around the circle, but not part of it because we do need to leave an opening. So just pick wherever you want it to be. I choose not to do it at the seam. So maybe like right next to it, right here, can be where we choose to make our opening. If that's the case, I will forget to sometimes stop sewing. So what I do is I take a second clip and put it right next to the clip so that I know where there's two clips, that's my start and stop. So as I'm going around, I don't close it all the way up and have to seam rip. Because seam ripping serge seams are not fun. So we're going to start at one end and we're going to serge all the way around and we're going to end at the other double flip. That's just my little cheat so I don't forget to do it. So let's go back over to the machine real quick and we're going to get it set up for that. Now, since we're sewing in a circle, because it's a big circle, you don't need to take off this arm or anything. We can leave it. But to feed into and feed off without sewing all the way around, you're going to kind of come in at an angle. So since I know I'm going to start right here, I'm going to go ahead and move the clips. That's my starting point. I'm going to go slide this in at an angle. And once I get started and the stitches start catching onto my fabric, we'll turn it. Okay. Now this time I am cutting off just a little bit because I want to make sure I'm catching the front and the back, both sides, so that there's no holes in my seams. So I'm just cutting off very little. Like very, very little here. And as you go around, you'll just kind of keep bringing that fabric up and around. It is a circle, so we want to make sure we're not pulling against it. We also want to make sure that our other fabric isn't bunched up underneath there. We want to keep the rest of it off to the side, so we're not sewing parts that we don't want to sew. I'm going to turn this a little bit and zoom you guys in for a little bit of a better angle for a minute. Of course, now I'm sewing sideways, but that's okay. I want you guys to be able to see as best as possible. Still have just a little bit coming off of here. Now we're back to my 2 clips. So I'm about to the point where I am going to stop sewing because I don't want to close up the circle. All right, so I'm at that point. So I'm going to remove my 2 clips and I'm going to just sew and turn the fabric so it sews right off this edge. I'll leave myself a little bit of a tail here. Here we go. So we have sewn this entire tube all the way around, except for this opening. So I'm actually going to switch to this camera so you guys can see better, because this is a lot of fabric that we're sewing in. So I've got this whole tube now sewn shut, except for this opening. And what I'm going to do is you can take these tails and you can run them back through your seam here, but this is going to be on the inside. And that takes a lot of time. And when you run it back through that seam, you're threading it through a needle and then running it back through. You can do that. I really only do that if it's going to be a seam that you can see, like on a hemline or something. So for me, I just tie a little knot and I trim my tails because they're going to be tucked in there on the inside anyways. And makes it a little faster. I'm just going to tie our little tails into a knot. People have different preferences on this. It's totally what you want to do on this, but you do want to kind of close it on so it doesn't fray. There we go. And I'm going to take this opening here. So this is the right side now. And I'm going to reach in and I'm just going to start turning this right side out. I'm just going to grab that whole scarf. It turns very easily right side out. My opening is probably 4 or 5 inches here. Okay. So now we have this whole scarf. Look, that easy. We just need to close up this opening, which is right here. And we're going to fold it in and close it up on this machine. So let me switch machines over real quick and we can finish up our scarf. I told you this was a very quick project. And once you get the hang of it, it goes very quickly and it's great for making for gifts, or if you wanted to sew some of your stash, you can. Super easy. So let's switch here. I'm going to move this one back for a minute. Let's bring this one over. Bring my camera over for you guys to see. So this is the heavy duty 4411. You do not need a heavy duty machine to sew this part, but I just wanted to use it because I love our heavy duty machine. This one is available at Michael's as well. And all I'm going to do is take this opening and I'm going to fold. Easier to do on a table, but I'm going to try to do it holding it up so you can see. I'm going to fold each end inwards in alignment with this seam, and then I'm going to flip it shut. So let me, all right, I am going to have to do that on the table. My knit fabric wants to roll, which is very common. Yeah. You can go to an iron and press it, but I'm just going to fold it in. Here we go. Once you get it going, it's a little easier. Once again, I will show you. There. That's what it should look like. I just needed to do that in my lab. And so I have it folded in alignment with the seam that we had. So this is the opening, and we're going to stitch this shut. Now, if you want to hand stitch this shut so it looks professionally finished, please by all means go right for that. But I like to do things quick and efficient, and I promise you won't even really tell the stitch shut. Plus, this is going to be on the back of the scarf, so no one's even going to see it. So what we're going to do, slide that machine over. We're going to set up this machine for a zigzag stitch. The reason we want to do a zigzag stitch is because that is going to allow this fabric to still stretch. If you do a straight stitch on a knit fabric, it will pop the stitch and come undone. So we want to make sure that we're using a stretch stitch for this step. So you can use a zigzag stitch, you can use a triple stitch, there's lightning bolt stitches, but we're going to use the zigzag machine. I have my stitch lengths at 3, and I have my stitch width at 4. And the reason I chose that is because this is thicker knit. All right, so we're just going to sew this all the way across from one end to the other right here where the opening is. And you want to make sure you back stitch at the beginning and the end. And I am using a white thread today. It kind of matches with this cream, but I want you to be able to see it. Hopefully. I'm holding my thread to get going. There we go. And I'm just sewing right along this edge here, aligning it with the edge of my the light on this machine is bright, so I'm sorry if you can't see that too well. Good thing it's a bright light. There we go. Now all I have to do is trim my threads. This scarf is done. So easy. I put you 3 simple sewing steps. And it comes together so quickly. So there it is. You can't even really tell that it's been sewn shut with a machine using a zigzag stitch. Pretty easy, pretty fun. Get this back out of the way for a second. So now I have a full scarf, my seam right here. Just going to put it to the back. Put it on, flip the hair, and we're good to go. And we just made an infinity scarf. It was that easy. So do we have any questions that I can help answer? I do want to tell you, you do not have to make this on a serger. You can make the whole thing on your home sewing machine if you don't have a serger or you don't not quite comfortable to do it on a serger yet, which is fine. You can use a zigzag or a stretch stitch for the whole thing, and it'll be fine. But you make it on the serger, it's really fast and it's super fun. So I wanted to encourage you all to give the serger a try. I'm a big fan. Do we have any questions, Sonny or Amy, that I need to answer?
I think you just answered a couple of them, and
okay.
basically
I was trying to read them as I was sewing.
Yeah, and someone actually, Bethany, they have just a straight stitch machine, which I was just getting ready to write and say, you can do it with a straight stitch, but then it might pop. So you might want to explain that a little bit.
There are stretchy threads, like specialty threads that do have a stretch that will help if you need to do it with a straight stitch machine. But this fabric and most of the fabrics made with infinity scarves or during the winter are stretchy knit fabrics. And if the fabric is going to stretch, you want the thread to be able to stretch with it. So using different stitches like a zigzag stitch, a triple stitch, a lightning bolt stitch, those will stretch with the fabric so that you don't pop your stitches and it doesn't come apart. That's why I like to use a serger a lot of times when I'm sewing with knits, is so that it allows my sweater to stretch as I put it on over my head and those kind of things. The same concept, but if you want to make this with a fabric that doesn't stretch, a straight stitch is fine. Just know that you may need a little extra fabric and be careful when, you don't want to be pulling on it. But that's about it. I mean, you can absolutely have made these with non-stretchy fabrics. Like I said, that there's some like sheer kind of lightweight fabrics that you would wear more in the spring and summer. You want a pretty scarf, but you don't want the heat, the warmth. Then yeah, you can do that. So, that was a good question. Thank you. Let's see here. So easy. Love your sweater, but oh, thank you, Kathy. I wish I could say I made this one, but I did not. Like normally I wear something I've made. Yes, you can change the blades on a serger. I use sergers all the time, and the blades last a long time, so you should be good. All right, guys. Well, I think we're kind of wrapping up for today. This was, like I said, a very quick project. Be sure if you're new to sergers to go reference our previous class last year that Amy linked, the Serger Basics 101 class. If you do make one of these infinity scarves, I would love to see it. So please use the hashtag #SingerSewing and use the hashtag #MakeItWithMichaels so that we can see your finished project from today's class. I hope you guys are having a great new year, and I'll see you on the next class. Bye, guys.